drama enveloping the White House, and there is anxiety and concern in many parts of Washington, including on Capitol Hill. Megan Murphy with me still here on set. We're joined by Ben Cardin, the senior senator from Maryland and the ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee on Capitol Hill. Great to see you. Let me ask you first just how you reacted to the revelations we saw reported first in the New York Times yesterday. How does this change your understanding of this White House and its role in Washington?
Well, David, first of all, if the report is factually accurate, it is extremely damaging. It shows that the president was trying to interfere with an investigation. That's something the president can't do in the Oval Office. So it just underscores the importance for us to understand exactly everything that has transpired. We've got to collect all the facts, and it's got to be done in a nonpartisan, objective, credible way. And that's why the Department of Justice must establish a special counsel that will have the credibility of the American people and that cannot have interference from the White House in conducting that investigation.
Senator, what are the next steps that you are planning on taking? Are you getting enough communication with the administration and the White House, or do you feel like your questions are actually being mothballed right now and that you're hitting a wall?
Well, every day there's more questions that we are finding, more revelations. So we haven't had a quiet period yet. We obviously are still trying to figure out about classified information being made available to the Russians. We have the issue that Mr. Comey's memo about the president trying to have him calm down an investigation. We have the issue about Mr. Comey's firing, first reported to be at the recommendation of the Department of Justice, later finding the president wanted to fire him. These are, every day there's more information. So what we are trying to do is get some orderly way to go through all the facts. And on top of that, remember, this is Russia. This is Russia's attempt to compromise our democratic system of government. So this is a pretty serious matter. In addition to involving the president, it involves a country that is trying to affect our way of life.
What do you say to your colleague, Mark Warner, the ranking member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, adamant that that committee continue to spearhead this investigation in the Senate? Do you see any chance that you'll be able to convince him that appointing a special committee or an independent prosecutor is the right thing to do?
No, I want the Intelligence Committee to complete their work. We have responsibilities in collecting intelligence information and oversighting intelligence that the Intelligence Committee needs to complete its work. I serve as the ranking Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. We have a lot of work to do in oversighting our relationship with Russia, so we should be doing that. But it doesn't take away from the need of a coordinated, independent commission that could look at all the different aspects of this and report back to the American people.
Senator, what do you say to your colleagues on the other side of the aisle in terms of their responsibility in calling for independent investigation as well?
I think we all take pride in the legislative branch of government. We're an independent branch. One of our principal responsibilities is oversight. Regardless of what party we belong to or what party is in the White House, it's our responsibility to carry out our constitutional responsibilities of oversight. I don't think anyone would challenge that that is needed today more than ever before, and it's up to Congress now to step forward and do what the American people expect us to do without party label.
Last question here about the level of dialogue you and your committee have with the White House, the president getting ready to embark on his first trip overseas tomorrow. How confident are you in the agenda of that trip? How much have you talked to the White House about it, and what would constitute a successful first trip abroad for this president?
Well, it's a very important trip. He's going to be in Saudi Arabia. He's going to be in Israel. He's going to be at the Vatican. He's going to be meeting with world leaders. This is a very important trip. And yes, I've had conversations with the White House concerning this trip. We hope that we can get support among the Muslim world for our war against terror. We hope that we can reinforce the relationship between the United States and Israel, and certainly work with the Pope in dealing with international and humanitarian issues in Northern Africa, in our own hemisphere, in Venezuela. There's a lot of important objectives for this trip, so we are working with the White House and hope it will help focus us on moving forward our national priorities.